Rightio, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our online lesson. Here we go, learning about connotations. As you can see, connotations are a persuasive technique. They come under the category of pathos, so that is persuasion by emotion. Here we go. Okay, now, on the piece of paper in front of you, you've got this thing called the pass criteria. So I want you to fill that in. I want you to choose what goal you are going to set for yourself for this lesson. So, if you want to understand this completely, say your goal is a 10 out of 10 understanding. If you're like, oh, I don't need to be 100%, give yourself an 8 out of 10 understanding. Or if you're really pessimistic, give yourself a 0 out of 10 pass goal. But let's not do that. So write down what your goal is. How well do you want to understand this lesson? Put that down there now. Let's go. And just remember, you can pause this video at any time. Such is the beauty of online lessons. Let's get into it. Murder, love, Liverpool, and Brussels sprouts. All of these words have a particular impact on us. They might make us feel a certain way, bring back certain memories, or call certain images to mind. Now, the ideas, images, feelings that we associate with these words are what we call the connotations. So, if I was just to say Brussels sprouts, you would go, oh no, I don't want that. Or if I was to say triple English lesson, or if I was to say stepping on Lego, all of those things evoke an emotion inside of you. That emotional response is attached to the word, and it's that emotional response, that association, which we call a word's connotations. The feelings, images, ideas attached to a particular word. Cool. Learning intentions. So these are our goals for this online lesson. This is what I want you to be able to say that you can definitely do at the end of it. So you're learning how to create persuasive emotion by using connotations and metaphor. We'll get to metaphor in a little while, so don't freak out if you don't know what that is. So that's our intention. We're learning about creating persuasive emotion using connotations and metaphor. You will know you've achieved this when you can write about your idea or subject using words with strong emotional connotations and metaphors. So you know you've learned this lesson properly if you feel, yep, I could write persuasively using words that I know have got strong connotations. Cool. In the background there, we've got a photo of the Mount Everest summit. So if you're into mountaineering, the highest point you can reach is this pile of flags, which also happens to be the very, very tip top of the world. Cool. Your turn. Now, on the piece of paper in front of you, you're going to see how there are different questions with different numbers, and they are linked to this video. So your turn, number 1, means you find that spot on the piece of paper where it says number 1. Cool. I want you to list 10 words that have strong connotations. So, my 4 are murder, love, Liverpool, and Brussels sprouts. Those 4 words have got strong connotations. I want you to please list your own 10 words that have strong connotations on your sheet of paper under number 1. So, one of them might be revenge. One of them might be sunshine. If you're struggling, feel free to use those too. So, listing 10 words that are loaded with strong connotations. Pause this when you're ready. Hit play when you're ready to start. Okay, if you're listening to this, you have written down your 10 words with strong connotations. Congratulations, well done. Let's delve deeper now into connotations. Connotations come from a variety of types of words. They can come from things, so that is nouns. For example, mud, snake, jail. All of those things are nouns. That is, they are objects, they are things. We can include connotations by including objects that have got a strong emotional attachment or a strong connotation. We can also include connotation through our action words or through our verbs. For example, snuck, stole, kissed. All of those words have got connotations attached to them as well. So instead of saying you came over to my house, I might say you snuck into my house. Instead of saying you borrowed my ruler, I might say you stole my ruler. Same action took place, but the different words have got different connotations to them. Hopefully you're starting to see how the choice of words we use and the connotations attached to those can really impact people's emotions when we're trying to persuade them. Lastly, adverbs. They're probably my favourite part of speech. They're how we do things. So how they describe the actions we make. So for example, stupidly, hopefully, honestly, etc. We can use all of those things to create strong connotations. So to recap, we can create connotations through the things, the objects we include, and through the actions. Cool, let's keep on moving. And remember, you can pause this anytime. If that's kind of like, oh, it didn't quite make sense, pause, go back 30 seconds, a minute, watch it again. Cool. Okay, take my example. So I'm going to talk about school uniform 6 or 7 times. I'm going to use different words with different connotations with each of them. Notice how that changes the feeling of what I'm saying. Here we go. School uniform is a badge of honor. School uniform is like a prisoner's stripe. Start again. School uniform is like a prisoner's stripes. Now, I've included objects there, okay? Badge of honor, prisoner's stripes. Just by mentioning those words in the same sentence as my idea, it's created a whole world of emotion through the connotations of those objects. The first one, badge of honor, that has connotations of war heroes, sacrifice, duty. The second one, prisoner stripes, that has connotations of breaking the law, lack of freedom, etc. School uniform displays your proud tradition and heritage. School uniform turns us into a group of lemmings. School uniform crushes the unique spirit of youth like a storm cloud floods a concert. School uniform provides belonging like a warm hug on a lonely night. So hopefully what you're seeing there is purely just by my choice of comparisons and words I'm including, it's making people view school uniform in a very different way. Also, take notice, I haven't used any logic here so far. This is purely a pathos technique. Nothing logical has been said yet. It's all about channeling people's emotions. Okay, moving on. Planning connotations. It's about to be your turn again. Planning connotations. So how do we do it? Say we want to add some emotion, add some connotations to our work. How do we do it? Firstly, take your argument. Well done. Number 2, decide how you want it to appear. So decide how you want people to view your argument. Do you want them to view your argument as, or your idea as a strong idea, a weak idea, a funny idea, smart or doubtful? So for example, if I was saying I wanted people to think school uniform was a good idea, I might want them to think that that's an intelligent idea. Or if I wanted them to think that school uniform is no good, I might want them to think that it's a silly, weak, bad idea. So choose something. Identify how you want your idea to be seen. And then, this is the tricky part, brainstorm other things that have these characteristics. So, if I want people to view my idea as funny, brainstorm other things that have got funny characteristics. Here's a video that's going to help you with that. Okay, let's say I want them to view my idea as a strong idea. I'm going to think of all the things that are strong, all the things that everybody already agrees are strong, and then I'm going to link them to my idea. So, first step, brainstorm all the things that are strong. Okay, what's strong? Rocks. Rocks are strong. Let's have a bit of fun with this. What else is strong? Let's go John Cena. If I misspell it, I apologize to John Cena. Please don't come and break my legs, ankle, neck, something. John Cena. Someone who I know a bit better who's a bit strong is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Dwayne "The Rock." Okay, what else is strong? What else is strong? Well, I guess our earthquakes, they're strong. I might go steel, as in the metal. That's really strong. Okay, rocks, John Cena, Dwayne "The Rock", earthquakes, steel. What else is strong? In Australia, we've got a strong belief in the law. So I might say something like our legal system. Or I might say justice. And hopefully what you're seeing is I've got a whole range of different ideas here. If I wanted to have some fun, maybe I was teaching a group of students, maybe I'll choose things that are a bit more fun. Maybe I'd choose stuff like that if I was wanting to have a bit of fun with it. Maybe if I was being serious, maybe if I was speaking to a group of principals or to parents or something like that, maybe I'd use some different connotations. Maybe I'd talk about our legal system and justice. Maybe I'd say something like solid as a rock. So, what we see here is I thought, I want everyone to see my idea as a strong idea. And then I thought, okay, what are some things that are objectively strong that I can link to my idea? And here we've got Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, John Cena, legal system, justice, rocks, earthquakes, steel. All of these are good things. And you can see what I can do here when I want to make an emotional, persuasive argument. Okay, I can say something like, my idea is like John Cena standing up amongst a pit of weaklings. My idea is an earthquake shattering all preconceived notions. My idea is strong and steel. My idea is a strong foundation for our society, just like our legal system has been. My idea is rock solid. And you can see by thinking of all these other things that are strong, linking them to my idea, it makes my idea come across as more interesting. That's good. If your idea is interesting, more people will listen. Secondly, it's going to catch their emotion. If you catch their emotion, you're halfway there to persuading them. Because we remember, humans aren't as logical as we like to think we are. We've actually got a lot of this emotional stuff going on. And if we like somebody and we like their idea, chances are we'll be able to be convinced by them more than if we just rely on logic alone. Good luck. Okay, what about I want to do something different? What about I wanted my idea to seem confusing? Maybe I'm talking about my opponent's idea and I'm like, man, that idea is confusing, but I want to add some more emotion to it. How can I do that? Again, same thing. I think of all the things in my life that are confusing. I might go, gibberish. Have you ever been in a situation where you've got your iPod or your iPhone headphones and they're all tangled and messy at the bottom of your bag? That's confusing. I could say headphones. Headphones tangled. I could say it's confusing like, when the power goes out and you're fumbling around your house and that's really confusing. I could say it's confusing like a pitch black room with no power. One time I was in Japan and I was trying to find my way around on the subway system there. I was looking at these signs at how to get around on the subway system, all written in Japanese. I was standing there with Google Maps in my hand, looking up at this massive network of train tunnels, phone, crazy confused. Took me hours to get home. So you could say it's confusing like a Japanese railway map. You could say it's confusing like I'm confused like I'm confused when I don't understand why people like Justin Bieber or something. If I wanted to inject some humor, confusing like teenagers, attraction to Bieber. Good. And you can see again, just by brainstorming all these different confusing things, I've got all these cool ideas that I can link to my argument in my persuasive speech. So instead of just saying that someone's argument is confusing, I can have a bit of fun with it. I can be like, this idea makes me feel the same way I feel when I try and understand why people like Justin Bieber. Why people like Justin Bieber. I just don't see the attraction. Or I can say, this idea is as confusing as a bunch of tangled headphones at the bottom of my bag after a 3-week holiday to Botswana. Or you can say, I'm as confused listening to your idea as I am trying to find my car keys in a pitch black room after the power's gone out. Or something like that. So, what you can hopefully see is that by brainstorming different things that share a characteristic with either our idea or the way we want people to view other people's ideas, we can inject a whole heap of emotion into it. Makes it more interesting. When it's more interesting, people are going to want to listen to us more. Adds more emotion. We know that people aren't 100% logical. When we add emotion into our arguments, all of a sudden they're being persuaded, of course, through our logic and our reasoning, but also through the emotions as well. So, connotations, really cool. Have some fun with it. Work out some ideas, some things that you can link to your argument that's really going to help people bring their emotions along for the ride. Okay, your turn. Choose one of these ideas and brainstorm things with the associated connotation, just like that enthusiastic fellow did on the board before. So choose one of these and brainstorm the things associated with them on the space under number 2 on your supporting document. When you're ready, pause this and start doing it. Okay, hopefully you've brainstormed all of those ideas. Now it's time for your turn again straight away. What I want you to do now is to take all of those ideas you brainstormed and I want you to connect them by writing them out in full on the space in number 3. So you're going to look at your brainstorm, you're going to take all of those ideas and you're going to link them and write them out as if you're actually saying it out loud. For example, you might start with something like, my idea is as strong as John Cena. It's as noble as the legal system and more reliable than clockwork. Cool. There are lots of good connotations there. You could also be a bit more creative with how you introduce these ideas as well. So if you want to be a bit more creative, go for it. Introduce it a different way. Okay, good luck. When you're ready to go, pause this and begin. Okay, welcome back. Metaphors. Metaphors and connotations go together like peas and carrots. So a metaphor is when we say something is something that it's not for effect. For example, the man is a machine. Now the man isn't a machine unless he's some sort of super high-tech bionic android. Chances are he's not. So chances are we're speaking metaphorically. If we say the man is a machine, chances are we mean something like he's really strong, really powerful, something like that. Often, we call ideas things they aren't to give more emotions. For example, this idea is a tangled jumble of headphone wires at the bottom of your school bag. That's a fun one. Imagine if you were in a debate or an argument and you said, that idea is more confusing than a tangled bunch of headphone wires at the bottom of my school bag. Cool. That's cool. That's got some emotion to it. That shows you're clever. You're having fun with language. That's fantastic. Or understanding your logic is like understanding Braille written with a crayon. If you don't know what Braille is, it's the sort of writing blind people use. So they have to run their fingers along bumps pressed into a page and they can actually read and understand complex ideas through touch, which is fantastic. So you could say someone's logic is like reading Braille written with a crayon. Doesn't work, impossible. Okay, when you write for your speeches, your next assessment task is a speech, I'm going to really encourage you to sneak some metaphors in there. They're good fun and allow you a chance to chuck extra emotion and depth into your writing. Here's an example. Now, the following 2 descriptions both describe someone sharing an idea. So someone had an idea, and then they shared that idea with somebody else. And I'm describing that here. So imagine someone had an idea, it crossed their mind, and then they spoke it out loud to somebody else. I've described that in 2 different ways. A brilliant flash of light danced from his cerebral cortex, sailed through the neural pathways of his brilliant mind, and flew from his mouth in the form of words like doves soaring into the clear blue sky, and painted an image in his listener's mind more beautiful than 1,000 sunsets across 1,000 oceans. Loaded with positive, beautiful, romantic connotations there. Let's swing across to the right now. Look at exactly the same thing, but just notice the connotations I've used there. From the muddy quagmire that passed for his brain, so a quagmire is like a marsh. From the muddy quagmire that's passed for his brain, a particularly dank and horrid mass formed from the sludge and coalesced into a thought no normal person would dare to touch. He spat it from his mouth in the form of words which slapped all who were unfortunate enough to hear it in the face like a bad smell. Alright, really quickly, let's look at the words filled with connotations there. On this one, we've got slapped all who were unfortunate enough to hear it in the face like a bad smell. Over here, danced from his cerebral cortex, sailed through the neural pathways of his brilliant mind, and flew from his mouth in the form of words like doves soaring into the clear blue sky, and painted an image in his listeners' minds more beautiful than 1,000 sunsets across 1,000 oceans. So sunsets, oceans, all these words have really positive, beautiful connotations to them and cause you to view the idea much more positively. Cool. Moving on. Your turn. So again, look on your piece of paper for number 4. I want you to do something similar to what I just did with the idea of McDonald's. So, work out, are you going to say McDonald's is good, McDonald's is bad? I want you to think of all the connotations you want and you can and put it in there. So, is McDonald's a joyful holiday on the beach or is it a slap in the face of the dead fish? Chuck some connotations in there, chuck some metaphors in there. Now, if you need to go back a step and you need to plan out your connotations, not a problem. Grab a spare bit of paper, think, okay, I want McDonald's to be seen as smelly or gross or yucky. And then brainstorm all the things that you can think of that are smelly, yucky, gross, etc. And then use them to generate your ideas when you talk about McDonald's. Or if you want to do it positively as well. If you want, you can write a different sentence about something else, but unless you've got a really good idea jumping out at you, I suggest you do the McDonald's one, but if one jumps out at you, feel free to go for it. Give your sentence action and description. So don't just say, if you're doing about McDonald's, don't just say it's a holiday on the beach. Say it's a holiday on the beach where the sun is shining down at the cool 35 degrees or something. Make your sentence do something. Give it action. All right. Good luck. This should take you probably 5, 10, 15 minutes. Have some fun with this one. Pause it whenever you're ready. Good luck. Okay, welcome back. Here's a summary. We're going to recap, and then that's the end of this online lesson. So we remember, connotations are the ideas or emotions associated with a word. They allow us to inject powerful emotion into our arguments. We can use metaphors to help us. All right, that's the slideshow. Hope it all sank in. What you need to do now is you need to go into your support document, the one where you've been writing all your good ideas, and I want you to fill in the questions at the end of that. Answer them honestly. Remember, we're here for your learning and you're in control of your learning, so answer those honestly. The instructions there tell you to come and see me at a certain time, so once you've done that, come up and check with me and we'll have a conversation and see where to go from there. Remember, be honest. The only reason you're coming to school is to, well, one of the more important reasons you come to school is to learn. The more honest you are, the more effort you put in, the better you will learn, and that's awesome. So, follow the instructions on the piece of paper. Thanks for watching the lesson. I will see you in the real world sometime soon. Good luck, grade 9s. See ya.